describe the mechanism. So Well, hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Sorry for the delay. To be honest with you, I wanted to make tea, and I had purchased new package of tea, but it was in my car, and it would just be uncivilized to have my live stream without the tea. And mind you, I have to go get it. So hang on for a second. Let me just give you an advertisement. Station identification. I'll be right back.
Damn, I thought she is the one. Everything was all good. She suddenly turned as if I was no longer who I was anymore. Why did she do that? Why do I feel so devastated? How can I feel better? How can I understand what is going on in my head? How can I go on? I will never fall in love again. Ah, things finally make sense. I now understand why she did what she did, and why I feel so shitty about it all, and why I miss her so much. I now know how to not miss her, and how to move on and build a better me, more confident and more aware of the role of my thoughts, consciousness, desires, fears, and ego in my relationship, and how I feel after a breakup. I got to talk to him or watch his videos on YouTube.
It may all seem like a mystery to you right now, but you can always go to my YouTube channel where you will find over 300 videos on this subject and more. You can find out exactly why you feel the way you do and why your thoughts are the way they're reacting and the role of your psyche in all this. Plus, how to feel good again, become strong and get your confidence back and ready to move on. And more importantly, how to move on. And you will certainly be fine once you know how your mind works, dear. If you still needed to talk to me one-on-one, that's always possible through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. There you can book a Skype consultation time for us and we can chat about what's concerning you. This is what I do with all people who need it from all around the world. All right, so we're back. Let me see who we have here. My head is chopped off. There we go. So we have Great Jedi Serena says, I hope you have a great stream. Thank you very much, dear. I appreciate that. I made a mistake and it was showing 1:11 a.m., but I actually wanted to have it now. So Thomas is here. Says the legend, the myth, Mehran. Oh, thank you very much. You're hired for the advertisement man, promotional manager. However, you're not doing a good job because there's nobody here. I mean, the 6 people should be 6,000, for heaven's sake, for that kind of advertisement, legend and all. Says, well, I was about to knock out too, but I'm here early. Okay, good. And Joao Baca, I guess from Brazil, says, hello, if my sexual thoughts are intrusive, it means I'm not gay. Well, you're still seeking for assurance. You don't need anybody to tell you that you're not gay or you are gay or you're heterosexual or you're this and that and so forth. Your awareness, your veto and choice powers already knows, already have told you, and the fact that you're asking that question, that already means very clearly that you are heterosexual and these are intrusive thoughts. There is nothing to show or to prove or to debate about it. So relax about your life, live your life according to your choices and vetoes, and stop thinking that the brain is a wiser entity than you are, or it's an intelligence center. Brain knows shit. It's just an organ, just makes thoughts. When it goes on a glitch of OCD, a malfunctioning in the signaling system, it spits out all kind of thoughts that it has come to know that exist in the world through mediums and whatnot, so forth, or makes those thoughts and associates anything to another topic, could be sex, and it doesn't understand that this is the same gender or not. It just throws it in. It's one way of trying to alert you to protect yourself because you're diehard heterosexual, and it's trying to protect you, but it's gone haywire. It doesn't know how. It just makes a real spectacle out of it and makes it too much out of it, as if there is anything there to really watch out for. It's just thoughts. So relax about that and stop seeking assurances. You are the assurance, your awareness. Nothing else is necessary. Thomas Joseph is here and says, so my question is, this man so much better now? Huh? My question is, this man so much better now? I still get crazy. Oh, my question is this, man. I guess you want to say, I am so much better now. I still get crazy thoughts, but they are fading. However, it is normal in the process just to get attacked with a whole bunch of thoughts out of nowhere. Again, you see, you're repeating these in order to have me hear it to confirm, so you get assurances. I'm telling you, don't give a shit about getting assurances. You live by your choices and vetoes. Doesn't matter how many of your friends want to go, I don't know, camping. You don't want to go camping, you don't go. How many of your friends want to smoke some kind of a drug and you don't want to do it, you don't. It doesn't matter what your brain suggests, friends, brain, other people, the same thing, all not you. So you don't have to give a certain credibility to when other people suggest something or when your brain conjures up something. You make a choice based on your values. If this suggestion is in line with your values or not, you make a decision. Should I allow this, what is suggested, to become any kind of an activity, or should I let it die by the wayside? That's the way you deal with things. Otherwise, expecting that the brain to behave properly according to what your preferences are, or your friends be always involved in the type of things that is in line with your values, well, that's unreasonable, because things that can think and suggest things will suggest different things and do different things, and it has nothing to do with you. You make your own choices based on what you think is maybe interesting to you or not. The pressure or encouragement or insistence of other entities, including your own brain or other people, would have no effect on you. It may make you doubt something because there is an OCD involved, which is a doubting disease, but otherwise it has no reality or truthfulness to it. It's just annoying. So learn how to help your brain to rewire itself by the techniques that Dr. Schwartz, Dr. Philipson, so on and so forth, experts in the field suggest in their videos, and then you'll be on your way to bigger and better things. Muhammad Ansari says, hi, sir, I'm Samir, 20 male Indian. Thank you for that. Says, my question is, will OCD sufferer experiences all themes because I have experienced all themes? No, it's irrelevant to your experiences. I don't quite understand. You got to give me an example, but let me read it again. My question is, will OCD, the sufferer, experiences all themes because I have? Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, I didn't read it properly. I thought you were talking about HOCD. No, well, listen, I had all kinds of it too. You could have 1, 2, 3, 4, all kinds. You know what the difference is? It's OCD. It's a glitch of malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. So you could it could apply to touching the light switch 50 times, or washing your hands 10 times, or checking the door when you're leaving if it's locked, or checking the oven if it's on or not, or whatever else, or going back and forth on a tile in the street because you want to have a good exam. You're going about to take your exam, and you think, if I go there 5 times on this particular tile, then it's certain kind of a balance of certain kind of a thing. The watcher is watching me, thinking that I'm really precise. All that shit. It can hit anything. It's the glitch that it has to do with the signaling system. When the signaling system is a little bit, off course, well, it can actually affect any kind of an OCD type, create any kind of OCD type, or HOCD, or any other subsets of OCD. So, Stephen says, good evening, Miriam. Good evening, Stephen. Says, male 42, Los Angeles. Thank you for that. Says, will be with you all in... Oh, that was me. I'm reading my own message. You didn't say where, which gender, how old you are. Stephen said, I'll try tuning in as I can since I'm at work right now. Okay, cool. Joao Baca says, male 19, Brazil. Thank you for that. And Thomas Joseph says, how to forget a what's the rest of it? A disturbing content or an experience in life that was traumatic. Why do you want to forget it? Why should you forget it? Well, there are 2 ways of forgetting. One is just try to forget something, because the more you try to forget it, the more attention you're giving it, so you won't forget it. The other one is like an experience in the Museum Louvre in Paris, supposedly. I'm just giving it a little bit of a drama. Let's say you're a visitor, you're going to Paris and visit this amazing museum. There's a Mona Lisa painting on the wall. As long as you're looking at Mona Lisa painting on the wall exists. Now, instead of thinking that I shouldn't look at it, it's easier to say, let me look at something else. Because when you look at another picture, you'll be focused on the detail and the topic of that picture, and that focus on something else automatically deletes or vanishes any knowledge or any awareness or any focus or attention on the Mona Lisa's picture, which really in reality, your reality means that it's deleted. It's not there. You're not thinking about it. Why? Because you're thinking about something else. It's always easier to think about something else than not think about this. So in other words, the way not think about this photo, this picture, this painting is to focus on another painting. I have a video in regards to how to delete your memory, and that is exactly this. The more you try to forget something, the more you have to focus on what it is that you want to forget, which means you're paying more attention to it. And you more pay attention to it, it creates more of the synaptic neurons to create bridge between the 2 ends of the synaptic neurons to pass on the neurotransmitters to allow this thing to become better. Like the more you play piano, the better pianist you become. The more you think about something, not to think about it, it is actually encouraging. While you're trying not to think about it, you're thinking about what you shouldn't be thinking about. And that creates a little bit of a stronger connection between the synaptic neurons to not be forgotten. So in other words, the best way to do it is to keep doing other things. So this automatically, when it becomes dormant, all these synaptic neurons, the glial cells go and find out the fact that these synaptic neurons bridges are dormant, are not being used, meaning you're not thinking about that topic or basically that topic, or you're not playing piano. So it recognizes that you're not using that those bridges that are built for creating that kind of a activity, you become good at it. And it marks them with the protein CQ1, and then when you sleep, microglial cells go and find those marked bridges and destroy them. So in other words, not practicing on something, not doing something long enough, it reverses, unlearns having been good at something. And the more you play piano, the better you get at it. The less you play piano, the worse you get out of it. You forget about how good you used to be. It works both ways on this particular deleting the memory, which we have ability to learn things, and we also equally have ability to unlearn things. And it all takes certain time of practice and time. Practice to become good at it, and practice to become good at something else, or not to practice this to be good at it. Automatically it works, and you eventually won't be thinking about it. It looks like it's deleted. So in your case, when something is disturbing, by focusing on your life, building your life, and being positive about the projects that you want to accomplish that are important to your life, you're automatically taking your attention from these disturbing or traumatic type of memories or situations. And when you keep doing that long enough, paying attention on building your life and the positive experiences and new experiences, and you're busy with accomplishing all those things, automatically this one becomes less and less paid attention to it. And like not playing the piano, it fades away out of your reality or memory in a way. It becomes dormant. Now, some things might trigger it, but because it's not constantly being triggered, even the triggering so often, it eventually doesn't affect anymore. And everything becomes like dead as far as that topic is concerned. And Benjamin is here. And I know a Benjamin, but I'm not sure if that's same Benjamin, because sometimes you have more friends. Benjamin, you from Vancouver, right? And if that is the case, then I know that is my friend. Steven says, I am happy I have a way better job, but I sometimes miss the other place and the people. So much has changed in my life. I feel, but I guess for the better. I looked at her like she was really good looking. You think it was all because of my needs. Yeah, you were desperate to be in a relationship. So anybody would give you a feeling that you can be in a relationship with her, you would make a big deal out of her. You would make her beautiful, because we are selfish we have a selfish tendency, at least. When we choose something, we make a big deal out of it. We advertise for it, that is the best of the best that I bought, or it's the best of the best girlfriend that I have, is the prettiest one around. Why? Because we have an ego and we want to be best of the best. So what we have chosen must be best of the best. And if it's not, we make it to be best of the best. And problem is, we fall into that same hole that we're digging, to convince others that she's the greatest, the most beautiful, because we want to have a trophy in our hand that I'm so good that I have the most beautiful. But then we believe that what we conjured up, for the reason that we conjured up, and then when we lose her or it doesn't work out, we actually believe that I lost one of the best. It wasn't at all. Your selection motivation was not sound. So you selected based on your need at the time, at the moment, or the availability of what was available, not based on the fact that you had so many choices and you chose this one when all other conditions were met according to your standards and preferences in your value system, rather than there was just one and I wanted to be in a relationship, it was the right time for it, or there was some kind of a circumstance that made it look very palatable and you chose it. Well, that was just that. It was not like you were considering all aspects of the when you wanted to select the girlfriend. So that was why She neither was pretty, I must say, because, that's my opinion. And I bet you 1 hour free consultation, if you ever show that to like 20 of your friends, at least 15 or 19 of them, if not 20 of them, will say, well, fuck, man, where was your head? Or you're closing your eyes or something. Because everybody these days can wear nice clothing, and the ensemble and the color combinations and all the finesse and all. And, she's a girl after all. We already have the propensity, gravitation to be turned on, let alone if they're dressed nicely. And everybody has something that you can be turned on, whether it's the high heel shoes or whether it's something naked showing or the clothing thing or the hair. You'll always be turned on by one. But once you're turned on by one thing about that girl, doesn't mean that she's actually qualified in every aspect of your expectation and standards. But this is what we think it is because we got turned on. Oh, that's an indication that she's perfect sexually, or then we end up giving all the other credentials and suddenly she's mentally, sexually, morally, values and all that compatible perfectly. But we make that compatible because we chose it. But we chose it on one need that we have. But we are not going to remember why we chose it. When we break up, we just think about, that was just perfect. No, it had perfect moments, but everybody has that. Anyhow, having said that, yes, you're better off now. And as long as you get your head out of your ass and focus on what's ahead and focus on the girls that are out there that you can get friend with them, not boyfriend, girlfriend, just friends, and see how it goes, you will change that motion and emotion and that rhythm that you have created by this breakup. And that friendship and association, socializing will free you from being, kind of tied to the dock, free you from the previous experience of the breakup, and makes you ready to actually choose one of these people that you become friend with, or another girl, brand new, somehow, accidentally, you guys cross path. All right. HM Hassan Mail 22 Saudi Arabia. Hello there. Ahlan wa sahlan, yeah? is that what we say? And HM says, I have made a lot of financial mistakes and lost a lot of money. Who hasn't? I can't stop going back and regret about the things I've done. You shouldn't. Because remember this, Professor Ferris, one of my professors in university, I never forgot that class. It was actually one of my favorite classes, Behavior in Organization. In one of his lectures, he said, at the time one makes a decision, one believes that that decision is correct. Because that decision was made based on the information that you had and experiences you had at the time. Based on the availability of information, your experiences, and whatever wisdom you had gathered around to that point in your life, you made that decision. Now, later on, when you see the result of it, that it was a wrong decision or right decision, or what happened, what didn't happen, is based on new information that came to you after you had already made the decision. So you can't blame yourself because the things didn't go right and because things were not giving you the results that you were looking for, because the information and the result of your decision was not known at the time that you were about to make the decision. You made the decision based on whatever it was available to you as far as information was concerned, as far as your wisdom and experience was concerned. So you use that know-how, wisdom, experience, and knowledge, information to make the best decision you could. That's all every one of us human beings can do. We don't have a crystal ball, or we're not magicians to figure out, if I make this decision, this will turn out that way, and therefore I shouldn't make that decision. I should make a different decision. And then that could have some kind of other consequences. And how could you know? So there is no regret and there is no blaming yourself or feeling guilty about the decision you've made, because at the time you were making the decision, you believe that the decision is correct. Because if it wasn't, we wouldn't make that decision. We're not crazy. We don't work against ourselves. So on that note, you should stop all these regrets and so on and so forth. It happens. I made lots of money for other people when I was as a realtor, buy property for them. But when it came to myself, I bought some, and then the market goes berserk, and I lost it with $700,000 lost. I got rid of it. So what do you want me to do? I made it back in a couple of years. So what does it do? This regret, what was it going to do to you? How did I know that the market is going to be like that? What information could I have had if I had flown into a future and come back? Yeah, okay, then I was guilty. Unless you have that ability, then you're not guilty of anything, because nature of a human being is for survival and do his best for whatever is possible he can do. And we're all trying our best. So when things go south or sour, there is a French philosopher that puts it very nicely. He says, when things go bad and sour, you will fuck it. all right. I'm sure you all speak French and understood. Now, Thomas says, bro, stop worrying about a female. Who you're talking to? Oh, you're talking to Stephen. All right. Then at least make sure that you are talking to that person. Otherwise, I'm going to read it as a question. All right. And all right. Mohammed Ansari Khan says, sir, if I'm not my brain, when, who, or then, who am I, and what is the difference between brain and mind? Well, brain and mind are different, and that's a different topic for a different time. It's a long discussion, but I have a video on that, so you can watch the video. However, in regards to if I'm not the brain, what am I? Well, you're the awareness. Let me tell you why you are not the brain, rather than if you're not the brain, what are you? That we already discussed it. But let me tell you why you're not the brain. We lived millions of years or a million years or whatever we have lived, And we lived like animals. We lived instinctively, on instinct. We would run, we would hunt, we would have water, we would sleep, we would, we would have sex. And that was all instinctively. We had no ability to think or to speak for a million years or more. But only 40,000 years ago, we were giving a new developed brain, because we didn't have this sophisticated brain to do these sort of things, to be trained to do math and invent things and think and speak and analyze. None of that shit was available. So if it wasn't available until 40,000 years ago, how did we live then? We did exist or we didn't? Did we start existing after the brain came into the picture? Or we were here living and existing before the brain was added to us? So we were here, so there was a me. There was a me living, existing, surviving. And the brain was added to me. Brain by itself doesn't have legs, doesn't have anything, it's nothing. It's an addition apparatus to what a human being is and forms part of his psyche. We had stem brain. We didn't have this brain. And everything was instinctive, and we had really no problem. No intrusive thoughts, no OCD, no nothing. It was all instinct, like animals. Run, hunt, sleep, have sex, enjoy, that's it. No thinking, no speaking. Thoughts are the roots of all problems. All these OCD subsets, HOCD, and all the other shit, it's all because we are capable with this brain to think. And that thought has certain kind of words, certain kind of images, certain kind of meaning, and the meaning is what creates all this misunderstanding or misinterpretation and all these association of words and things. It's all fucked up. None of it has anything to do with you. That's why you're not the brain, because brain didn't exist for so many million years until 40,000 years ago. Now that it exists, it's an addition. It's a new organ. It's an apparatus added to you for using it for accomplishing certain things, learning something, calculating something, designing something, producing something, using it to enhance your life for whatever it is that you have set out to accomplish. So you were not added to the brain. Brain was added to you. So you're not the brain. And what you are, your awareness. And I have a video, elaborate 45-minute video, that on that video is explained many other ways to see that you're not the brain. And I have many other, I'm going to put a bunch of them up here for you guys, that helps you to see why you're not the brain and the brain is not you. So you might want to take a copy of these links. So this is the first one for you. It's a 45-minute one, explains from the philosophical point of view and neuroscience, the modern science point of view, and it has amazing information in there. You can't watch it all at the same time because it's quite overwhelming. It's long, but you can watch it in segments and enjoy it. And the other one is the Observer. That's an experience, a video I made based on the experience that was done in quantum physics and quantum mechanics in a laboratory, and it's beautiful. It's ingenious, I must say. Drum roll. It's actually pretty interesting. Now, it's in 4 parts. One is 10 minutes, and the other 6, and the other 13. On some seconds. But there's one that is completely all 4 of them together. I put the long one there. If you get tired of it, well, then you go to the one that you want. But this one, I can make sure that it has that experience as it explained in there for you. So there it is. Here's the link for you. There's so many other videos that I have used and proven that you're not the brain, brain is not you. Proven, actually. So there's 2 of them, and that should do the trick for you. And Benjamin says, I'm a big fan, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And where were we? Ash is here from UK. And Ash, what happened to the protocol? God damn it. You, of all people? Ash says, which is why my OCD is so sticky. Because the more we are trying to push out the thoughts, the more it comes embedded in our psyche, like a Chinese finger trap. Yeah, I saw that in actually Star Trek, one of the Star Trek episodes. It says only 10 times worse. And Ash says the only way to undo reverse OCD is to agree with everything it says without acting on it like a dumb ass. It's like hearing all people talking about their interests or whatever it is that they want to do, but you just hear it and go. That's all. You don't have to participate in it, but you just hear it. So, okay, I accept that people can say things. I accept that people can have their own ideas about things. So in the case of thought and brain, I accept that thoughts can exist. That's all. You're accepting the existence of thought. You're not accepting the content that the thought is suggesting. You're accepting the existence of thought. For the existence of thought that you accept, you don't have to counter it. You don't have to argue with it. You don't have to refute it. It's none of your business. It's got nothing. It's a brain makes thoughts. Okay, fuck it, makes thought. That's your relationship with brain. But if you think you're the brain, that's the problem. Because then you say, oh, if I'm the brain and brain is me and brain says something, then I must be it because the brain said so. Brain is an apparatus. Brain is not you. That's it. Simple. Done with it. All right. Glad you're doing well, Ash. And Armin says, can it be from Armin? We have a certain protocol here. I got to know age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. So, and I'll get back to this. Can it be from too much masturbation? No, no. It's got nothing to do with masturbation. You can masturbate as many as you can, as you want. It has to do with the brain's malfunction in the signaling system of it. And it's got so much explanation that I've done in many different videos talking about midbrain basal ganglia, striatum, all the three centers in there, and caudate nucleus, malfunction of the caudate nucleus, and how you can help it to rewire itself and get back into the default setting, because stop functioning, which is job is to shut down intrusive thoughts. When it stops functioning, then it doesn't do what it's supposed to. Then you got to help it to get back to its default setting. All that discussions, it takes a lot of just 1 minute. All right. All right. Muhammad Ansari says, will you send the links? I did. I sent 2 links down there now. Actually, they're right after your question, both of them. And Thomas says, thoughts left and right, but eventually it fixes itself a couple of hours later, but I have to mentally ignore it. Just annoying. Yeah. When something malfunctions, it's gone out of its normal behavior and balance. So you got to tolerate it somehow and have a trick with it. What can you do? Like, when you have diarrhea, you stick close to the bathroom so you don't have to run to it a kilometer away, and then you just stay at home until it. So there's certain things you got to do in order to help certain non-functional or ill function of the body to repair itself. Brain is the same. It's got a diarrhea. It doesn't have any control. That shut up valve that is regulating the quality of thoughts being spit out or come to your attention is kind of broken. So anything that it makes, spits out as a thought, it kind of comes to the channel of the screen and you become aware of it. But when caudate nucleus is working, every time these things that are not in line with your values show up by the brain, which is in everybody's brain is being created, it shuts down that valve or that opening so it doesn't come to the screen. You won't even notice it. Or you notice it very, very quickly and say, wow, that's nasty, and shut down and you go on. So basically, that's all. Otherwise, everybody has intrusive thoughts. So that's what the brain does. It's not like something wrong with you or something is changing in you. You're just taking notice of the things that normally you would not have noticed because the caudate nucleus was functioning properly. Now you got to rewire it to help the caudate nucleus get back into its default movement and autonomic way of behavior, so it would do its job, which is shut down intrusive thoughts as soon as they show up. It's just malfunctioning that part. Otherwise, everybody's brain is creating all these intrusive thoughts all day long. But the caudate nucleus is working properly and shut it down, and we go about our business. When it's malfunctioning, it lingers. It doesn't shut down. We become notice of it. We take notice of it, and that makes us feel like, oh, because I took notice of it, then it's a brain, and the brain is intelligent, then it must mean something. I'm changing. No, it's always been there with everybody's brain, because brain doesn't know what it makes. It just makes thoughts about anything that is heard, seen, or it's available in the world. It's just making thoughts. It has no bearing on your inclination, your preferences, your gender, or orientation. Not at all. But when you get notice of it, thinking about the brain being such an important, intelligent organ, which is not, as stupid as it comes, then you get bamboozled. That's all. Just don't get bamboozled. That's the whole, what you take out of this is just about that. Don't get bamboozled. What is this now? It's coming on the screen. What the hell is wrong with that? All right, there we go. Get that shit out of there. All right. And so, Thomas, what nonsense are you talking about? I told you stop the bullshit of just keep asking questions that are irrelevant. You know, what kind of, who would miss that? I mean, do you miss that? You don't miss that. And if you do, it's just because you are looking for the dopamine after it. When you notice the intrusive thoughts, then you remedy it, or come up with some kind of explanation, and you feel good about it, and then you get dopamine secreted. And that's why after a while doing this, it's not that you're missing the intrusive thoughts. You're missing getting the dopamine. And in order to get the dopamine, you kind of think, oh, how was I getting dopamine? Because of intrusive thoughts. That's the connection. All right, guys. We've been 52 minutes here, and we had 10 people there. Now we have 4, which means we've answered all the questions, and nobody needs us anymore. HM says, when it was my friend's birthday, I bought him an expensive gift. When it was mine, he didn't even say happy birthday. He knows it was my birthday, which was surprising to me. And what's the point here, HM? What is the point? Is there any question there? Or you're talking to somebody else? Hey guys, when you're talking to somebody, please, in front of your text, put down that is addressed to that person, so I won't be looking to find out if it's for me or for somebody else. All right? HM, I still don't know what that comment will let you. Says, HM says, should I confront him? Why? The facts are known. You bought him something. He didn't buy you anything. He didn't even say happy birthday. Well, either something drastically is happening in his life that he forgot, in his family or whatever, or he just forgot, and now he plays or pretends that he doesn't remember because he's embarrassed to say, well, I didn't wish you a happy birthday and you bought me such an expensive gift. Or maybe he didn't have money to reciprocate and buy you this similar kind of a gift. So he thought, what am I going to do? I don't have that kind of money. I better just ignore it as if I have forgotten it and let the time pass. And they said, oh, shit, I forgot, man. I'm sorry. Jesus. So probably next year I'll take care of it. I mean, I'm so embarrassed. Maybe that's what it, because he's got some financial trouble and you bought him an expensive gift. He can't compete with that. And he's going to look silly if he buys anything in his mind. And then he says, I can't just not buy him anything. Might as well, I don't even say happy birthday as if I forgot. So that would be a good excuse for me not buying a gift. Not because, I don't have money or not enough funds about it, something. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know what his financial situation is and all that, what the rest of it is. Yeah, you know the facts. So what's to confront him? You want to confront him because you want to still decide if he's going to be my good friend or not. Is he loyal or not? Is he on my side or not? And for that judgment, you need that information. That's what you're thinking. But you don't need that. You just treat it as he had a problem. Or he was simply not with it, because if he was, he would have bought me a gift or at least said, happy birthday. If he didn't, he's not impolite, he's not rude, he's not an asshole, he's a good friend. There could be some reason, and unless he comes up with that reason, why do I care? he either gets embarrassed or he has to lie about it. Either way, it doesn't do anything to me. I just then treat him as the behavior I see from him rather than consider him such a good friend. He may still be a good friend. He just didn't have the funds to do it, or just slipped his mind, and then it's too late. He's embarrassed to say anything. He just pretends he doesn't know it until time passes by. He says, "Oh, I forgot," or says nothing. It's just gone. Thomas, what is this question for? You want to choose between which process to take? This is why your OCD keeps coming back or doesn't go away faster, because you keep coming up with these analytical interests, which has no sense to it. Like, you're asking my opinion about what I think what I went through is. You just got to focus on what you should do rather than opinion of this. You're constantly looking for assurances, because instead of saying, this is what I think, what do you think about that, you just keep coming up with examples. Don't do that to yourself. You're creating more and more ambiguity and busyness with the brain on this topic, which is just, I'm trying to tell you, you're supposed to have an attitude of fuck off to these sort of, malfunction of the brain, not to constantly be. The more you're into it, unless you're researching, which you should research, as psychologists, psychotherapists, and the neuroscientists research and follow that. Otherwise, asking all these questions is just seeking assurances. What you're asking here is that I will be fine all day, lol. Okay. Then I am getting ready to go to the gym, and boom, you want to have sex with your mom. I do the 4 steps, then throughout at the gym, I see different people and get intrusive thoughts. Look, that's what OCD, HOCD is. You're constantly expecting it to, just because you can recognize it, then it should never come in. You recognizing about OCD and HOCD, it's not a remedy for the brain to stop. Now you recognize it, now you got to follow the way to rewire the brain. But when you recognize it and automatically the brain doesn't go to the default setting, you're constantly questioning it. Now, you either want assurances or you ask, why is this? Well, you keep doing what you do. Like a thought of you, making it with your mom comes to your head. Okay. Categorize as another intrusive thought. That's HOCD, it's not me, and go on with your thing. Why do you have to now? What reason could it be that you're seeking to know, as it's a formula? Once you know it, then you'll be okay with these thoughts. These thoughts are always annoying. The way to deal with them is as, okay, I notice you. It's like you're in your home and you notice a cockroach. I noticed the cockroach, and it's your home, so you try to do something, get rid of it, kill it, or whatever. But if you're walking in the street and you see a cockroach, what do? You don't fuss with it, you go. Okay, I noticed the cockroach, I don't go there. I go over there. I neither want to step on it or would I want it to be close to where I'm sitting or whatever. I just get up and go somewhere else. In other words, you avoid or you diss them, not to interact with them. In the way of thoughts is the same, but instead you interact with thought. You constantly ask questions. Why? Who cares why? Why doesn't matter. The fact is that it's not in line with your values, and you recognize what it is because now you're wise and educated to know, you're knowledgeable, you know what this is, and you dub it what it is, you label it as what it is, that's intrusive thought. It's not me. It's OCD. It's not, it's HOCD. It's not me. And then you reframe it, and then you focus on something else that is positive to you, and the brain will reevaluate automatically. You do that hundreds of times, automatically your brain will do all the 4 steps automatically by itself. But you got to keep doing it rather than delving into this and interpreting it and dissecting it. That in fact you're paying more attention, which is contrary to what Dr. Schwartz and every other expert is trying to tell. Less attention gets it not feed on your attention. More attention in any way, shape, or form keeps this active in your head. You're trying to rewire the brain. So by ignoring it, by doing the 4th step, not that rewiring the brain to become better at doing all these intrusive thoughts. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah, that was funny, Thomas. The rapeseed, I'd never know. I didn't know. Apparently, it's a seed. I saw it on peanut butter. It says rapeseed. I said, well, maybe they forgot the G, grapeseed, didn't print. That's what is a rapeseed? That was funny. Yeah, I know. Ash says, Maren, I have a question about drink more tea and read my question. Okay, let me go to your question. Where is your Ash's question? Okay, Ash says, so I actually do have a question, Mehran, but might be complicated to structure here. Okay, if it is, then fuck you. You go make an appointment, you pay for it, then I'll I'll talk about it. You cheap asses, nobody's actually thinking about the channel. No support here. God damn it, you assholes. And I'm killing myself with all these amazing discussions. No, it's all right. I'll just read it right now. Hang on. It says, with how much HOCD, OCD takes over our everyday thinking in general, is it possible that we are actually manifesting our fears? No. They say you attract in life what you think about. Oh, I see what you mean. Because you're thinking about it. Because you see, the thing is, you're not thinking about it. The thoughts take your attention. In other words, the thoughts are created by the brain. So it's not the fact that you're actually manifesting what you're thinking, because you're not thinking. You are in a kind of a fight or in a kind of a discussion that is not instigated by you. So it is not, in fact, your desire of any kind, because it is not your thinking. You're subjected to notice the thoughts that the brain out of malfunction is creating. So to begin with, they're not your desires, or they're not your designs, or they're not your created thinking. There's some thoughts that show up that you're trying to manage and figure out, what the fuck am I going to do with this? Which now you know what the fuck you're supposed to do this. Dr. Schwartz have let you know what the fuck to do with it, and many other experts do. So that's one. And you say, they say you attract in life what you know, that what they say is actually full of shit. Unless you make an effort of what you're intending to accomplish, that what you wish or intend or think about will never come true. You sit down and think that I'm going to pass my exam. Oh. It won't happen until you fucking read that book and get prepared to it. So the action and effort and action should come with the thoughts, in order for the thoughts to have any kind of a chance for manifestation of any kind, whether it's positive or negative or whatever. You can't just by saying, because I wish I had hamburger here, I'm hungry. And I keep doing that for 30, 40, 50, 100 nights. So might as well, one of these nights I should have a fucking hamburger in my... No, unless I go make an effort, buy this stuff and come here and do the effort and cook it, it won't happen. So this business of the law of attraction, all that fucking bullshit that they've filled people's head up, makes them just think that things magically are going to be controlling them. No, it won't happen. You're the ultimate ultimate power in this world, as far as your world is concerned, to allow any thought ever in a million years have a chance to become reality, actuality in the real life, or die by the wayside. You're the only one who can make that happen. Brain by itself cannot, just because suggestion came a million times, still nothing. So intrusive thoughts, OCD, HOCD, they will not have anything to do with the reality of you, as long as you're aware that this is the glitch of the signal system of the brain, and that the brain is not you, you're not the brain. Therefore, the rest of it is just like anything else that exists in the world. Just because something else exists in the world, that doesn't mean it's going to be affecting me. If I'm aware of it, that I'm not interested in it, and that's my preference. And just because it's there doesn't mean that I should be thinking about it or worried about it. It doesn't affect me. It's irrelevant to me, just like the brain's productions in the form of thoughts itself. And it says, they say attention about most, even if those thoughts are basically emails from Satan. What the fuck is wrong with you? We're talking about Satan. What does that have to do with OCD? You need the ugly stick or something. It says, even if the thoughts you get are equivalent of having your email spammed by Satan. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, even if it's millions of times, doesn't matter. Okay, yeah. So I hope that that is good enough for here. And all right. All right. Ash says, Meram, what if the cockroach on the street is the size of the elephant? Well, then you run like hell. Still, you go away. All right. Thomas. And Ash says, Miran, I'll send you one of my wives as tribute. Listen, if that what you want to send me was good, I know you wouldn't be sending it to me. You would be enjoying yourself. So keep the trophy for yourself. I get my own. And Thomas says, if you masturbate twice a day, is that bad for you? No, it's pretty good actually. Enjoy it. Don't worry about it. You put in your head that masturbate is bad. No, and masturbate is the way that we boys take care of business, because we have such a appetite that we don't get enough of it, if any. So get at it. Go crazy. Don't worry about it. And Ash says, that makes sense, Miran. Thank you for making me realize how stupid my questions was. Well, we all help each other. Anne Marie says, I had a dream that my grandfather, my grandpa escorted my grandma to gigantic staircase. Then my grandpa come to me in another dream and asked me if I needed to talk to him. I felt like my grandpa my grandpa passed. I'm sorry, I can't follow. I don't know what it means. And says, I felt like my gram passed away. I found out she did pass on by Google. What? Oh, you found out from Google that she passed on. My parents excluded me from the funeral. Why? My gram raised me. I feel sad and was closest to them. How can I raise my thoughts and vibration after this low? What does it have to do with you? You dreamt, whatever you dream, it's not your doing. It's just the way dreams work. And they passed, so it's not your fault. You know, it's unfortunate, of course. And then your parents, you know, didn't let you go to the funeral. That's stupid. What the hell is that? What reason? What for? And how can I raise my thoughts vibration? Your thoughts vibration haven't changed. You're interpreting all these things and the behavior of the parents and their dreams as if it's something having to do with you, you're responsible for and you're negative for, and then you punish yourself as I'm not in the same resonance or vibration. It's all just made up. There's nothing to do with anything. You're just as good or bad as you've always been. No change to you. These are just happenings of the dream and stupidity of some parents or some people who deny you from going to funeral of your grandparents, and it doesn't make sense what they have done. It has got nothing to do with you. You're as good as ever. So just stop torturing yourself for some bullshit that is not on you. Well, if I did Ash, you guys would have all seen it. Oh, you're talking about with Thomas. Oh, okay, thank you. I thought you were talking about me as well. Gee, what's going on with Ash tonight? Ash says, if you ever do a one-on-one chat with Mehran, he'll probably give you your money back just to get you to stop. All right, you guys smoking something, aren't you? So, look, guys, Ash says, I'm just joking with you. Oh, yeah, okay. Just come and go listen to Mehran and you'll go far. Okay, great. Ash, Anne, and everybody else, Thomas, who else do we have here? Let's see. HM. We had a few other people, I guess, and Muhammad. Anyhow, I mean, thank you all for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.